Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also very well. Dear students, you will all know that our school is now open, but in a very limited time. Besides your school classes, you have to follow the other online classes from the various kinds of sources as social media, Facebook or YouTube as well. Dear students, in this context I would like to present in front of you a very important online classes of class 5. Those who are in class 5, please stay with me and also be seated in front of the screen with your English textbook and other necessary papers and documents as pen, pencil and paper. Dear students, no more delay. Now we will start our lesson as usual. Dear students, I am Mr. Lutfur Rahman. Today I have brought only for you a English classes of class 5. The details will be telecast in front of you very soon when I will start the PowerPoint slide. Dear students, no more delay, let's start. Welcome to my multimedia class. Dear students, use mask and stay safe. Thanks for enjoying my class. And again, I would like to congratulate all for enjoying my last classes as well. It's a part of my identity, dear students. Yes, I am Mr. Lutfur Rahman, assistant teacher of Kundarampur Government Primary School under the Thana of Ghuraghat and Dinajpur districts. Dear students, today I have brought for you an English class of class 5, and I hope you will enjoy this class very well. Dear students, now we will watch or see some picture of the text. Dear students, yes, in the screen we can see a picture. In those, a hare and the tortoise are gossiping to each other in the picture. Dear students, now we will see that a hare and the tortoise in the screen. Yes, now dear students, you are very well known that as this is the picture of hare and the tortoise, and the class will be the hare and the tortoise. Dear students, think and try to say what about the picture or what about the story. Yes, you are correct. The story is about the hare and the tortoise. Thank you all. The lesson is lesson introduction. The lesson is obviously the hare and the tortoise, and the screen is telling that yes, English for today class 5 unit 14, the hare and the tortoise, lesson 1 and page 54. Dear students, today we will discuss a very important class of class 5, the hare and the tortoise. Dear students, we will now learn some new words from the text. Dear students, let's start. We will now learn some the new word or word meaning from the text. Look very carefully. At first, we can see that first mean quick. We can see a boy is running very quickly and at last he won the race. Dear students, the sentence is the hare is the fastest animal. and the other new word is slow. Slow means late, and the picture is, yes, this is the picture of a tortoise. We are very well known about the fact that the tortoise runs very slowly. The tortoise is a slowest animal. Dear students, another new word, angry. Angry. So, angry means crazy. Angry means crazy, and the picture is a boy who is very angry, who expresses his anger, and the sentence is he felt angry. Watch mean observe, and the picture is, we can see that some people are watching a horse race in the stadium. Dear students, some people are watching horse racing in the stadium. Why don't we have a race? The sentence is, why don't we have a race? The students, another new word is race, mean run, and the picture is always the same. Can't you run? The sentence is, can't you run? And the another new word, win. W-I-N, win. Win mean victory, and the picture is telling that a boy is finishing his race, and at last he wins and expresses his joy, and he expresses his joy as he won the race and as he wins the race as well. And the sentence is, maybe I can win. Maybe I can win. Dear students, here are some very important words for you from the text. Let's see some picture, dear students, and we will see some picture and also read the text of this book. Yes, the text is coming. One day, a hare was walking in the forest when he saw a tortoise. The hare was the fastest animal in the forest. The tortoise was the slowest animal in the forest. Dear students, again, one day a hare was walking in the forest when he saw a tortoise. The hare was the fastest animal in the forest. The tortoise was the slowest animal in the forest. Students, we can see another picture, and the two picture. The text is coming here. The text is, the hare called out the tortoise, hurry up, you are so slow, can't you walk faster, can't you run? Again, the hare called out the tortoise, hurry up, you are so slow, can't you walk faster, can't you run? Students, we can see another two picture in front of the screen. The tortoise felt angry and said to the hare, why don't we have a race? Maybe I can win. The students, again, look very carefully. The tortoise felt very angry and said the hare, why don't we have a race? Maybe I can win. Dear students, and the two picture is coming in front of us, and picture shows some text. Picture shows some description from the text, and the text is coming one after another. Yes, the hare laughed and laughed. Sure, I will win. The hare said. They agreed to start next to a big tree and finish at the river. Then they called their friends to watch. Again, dear students, please look very carefully. The hare laughed and laughed. Sure, I will win, the hare said. they agreed to start next to a big tree and finished at the river. Then they called their friends to watch. Yes, another two picture is coming. The hare stood beside the tortoise and the race began. The hare stood beside the tortoise and the race began. Dear students, this is the part of teacher's reading. In the meantime, I have completed my reading, so we can pass it. It's the time from listening the text
One day, a hare was walking in the forest when he saw a tortoise. The hare was the fastest animal in the forest. The tortoise was the slowest animal in the forest. The hare called out to the tortoise, "Hurry up! You're so slow. Can't you walk faster? Can't you run?" The tortoise felt angry and said to the hare, "Why don't we have a race? Maybe I can win." The hare laughed and laughed. "Sure, I will win," the hare said. They agreed to start next to a big tree and finish at the river. Then they called their friends to watch. The hare stood beside the tortoise, and the race began.
Dear students, we heard the main text from audio sound. Dear students, from the audio part, we will hear this part again for our better understanding, dear students.
One day, a hare was walking in the forest when he saw a tortoise. The hare was the fastest animal in the forest. The tortoise was the slowest animal in the forest. The hare called out to the tortoise, "Hurry up! You're so slow. Can't you walk faster? Can't you run?" The tortoise felt angry and said to the hare, "Why don't we have a race? Maybe I can win." The hare laughed and laughed. "Sure, I will win," the hare said. They agreed to start next to a big tree and finish at the river. Then they called their friends to watch. The hare stood beside the tortoise, and the race began.
Dear students, finished the audio text. From this story, dear students, we can now go the next slide of the lesson. Now it's your part to read the text silently. Dear students, please read the text very silently with silent mode for 1 minute. Dear students, please start your reading this text for 1 minute, and you have to point out the line with your finger. I hope, dear students, you have all finished your silent reading for 1 minute. And another, you have to read this text again. Now it's time for loudly. Loudly you have to read the text, please, for 1 minute. Dear students, please read the text loudly and again for 1 minute. Let's start. Dear students, I hope you have all finished this loud reading for 1 minute. Dear students, now we can go the next slide of the lesson. It's time for doing some work. I mean pair work. I mean you have to all identify whether the sentences are true or false. Dear students, it's a time for doing something. I mean you have to find out that sentences are true or false. Dear students, number A, the hare was the fastest animal. And number B, the tortoise laughed and laughed. And number C, the tortoise called out the hare at first. Number D, the hare and the tortoise agreed to start a race. And number E, the hare was dancing in the forest. Now dear students, please try to identify which lines are true or false. Let's see. Yes, number A is true. The hare was the fastest animal. Yes, true. Number B, the tortoise laughed and laughed. Yes, it is false. The hare laughed and laughed. It is false. C, the tortoise called out the hare at first. Yes, it is also false because the tortoise called out the hare at first. It is false, and the true will be the hare called out the tortoise at first. Number D, the hare and the tortoise agreed to start a race. True. And number E, the hare was dancing in the forest, is completely false. Now dear students, again we have to do something about question answering the question. Dear students, you have to answer the following question. Dear students, what was hare doing one day? Number A. And number B, who was the fastest animal in the forest? Number C, what did the hare call out to the tortoise? What did the hare call out to the tortoise? Number D, what did the hare and the tortoise agree? What did the hare and the tortoise agree? This is again, please read the questions very carefully and find out the possible answer from the text. Dear students, what was hare doing one day? And number B, who was the fastest animal in the forest? And number C, what did the hare call out the tortoise? And number D, what did the hare and the tortoise agree? And dear students, now we will now see the actual, I mean proper answer. What will be? We can now see from the text, and yes, the proper answer will be number A, one day the hare was walking in the forest. Number B, the hare was the fastest animal in the forest. And number C, the hare called out the tortoise, hurry up, you are so slow. Number D, they agreed to start next to a big tree and finished at the river. Again, dear students, please read the answer very carefully. Number A, one day the hare was walking in the forest. Number B, the hare was the fastest animal in the forest. And number C, the hare called out the tortoise, hurry up, you are so slow. Number D, they agreed to start the next to a big tree and finished at the river. Students, now we will go the next part. Yes, it's time to do something, and again you have to answer some questions from the text. Yes, the question has come in front of you. Number 1, how was the hare moving? Number 2, what did the hare see when he was walking? Number 3, who laughed and laughed? And number 4, who felt angry? And number 5, who came to watch the race? Again, dear students, please read the questions very carefully, and you have to answer all questions very attentively and properly. Dear students, number 1 again, how was the hare moving? Number 2, what did the hare see when he was walking? And number 3, who laughed and laughed? And 4, who felt angry? And number 5, who came to watch the race? The students, now we can see the proper answer. Yes, the answer has come. Number 1, the hare was moving fast. And number 2, the hare saw the tortoise when he was walking. The hare saw the tortoise when he was walking. Number 3, the hare laughed and laughed. The hare laughed and laughed. And number 4, the tortoise felt very angry. The tortoise felt angry. The tortoise felt angry. And number 5, other animal came to see the race. Other animal came to see the race. Dear students, now it's time to give you a homework. Yes, the homework has come in front of you. Dear students, write a short composition on the hare, the tortoise, in at least 5 sentences, answering the following questions. Yes, dear students, you have to answer 5 questions that has been provided below. Yes, number 1, who was the fastest animal? Number 2, who was the slowest animal? And number 3, what happened one day? And number 4, who was angry? And number 5, who was sure to win? Again, dear students, please read the question very carefully, and you have to answer all the questions very attentively, because it's a time for you for writing a very short composition which name is the hare and the tortoise, and you have to answer all questions very carefully. Dear students, please again, I will read the questions. Number 1, who was the fastest animal? And number 2, who was the slowest animal? And number 3, what happened one day? And number 4, who was angry? And number 5, who was sure to win? Dear students, now it's time for saying you all very thank you, and very also saying goodbye from my part. Dear students, I hope you are all enjoying my class very attentively and eagerly, and hope you will also watching my previous class in the YouTube and also my Facebook page or Facebook social media. Dear students, no more today. Thank you all for enjoying my class very attentively, and again I would like to congratulate you for enjoying my class. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.